Jai Sri Ram friends, today we are going to see about the so-called farmers' protest and how it is organized in such a way it is absolutely devastating for the public.
देखते हैं अगर कुछ हल होता है हमारा भी मीटिंग है जी उसमें कोई हल होगा तो ठीक
मीटिंग है
ये अभी 24 तारीख की रखी हुई है ना
3 दिसंबर को जो मीटिंग रखी
हाँ
तब तक आप यहीं पर
यहीं बैठे ये उस पर भी कुछ हल हुआ फिर हम बैरिकेड तो क्या हम तो इनको वैसे ही उड़ा देंगे ये हम उसके हमारे जो शहीद हुए हैं आप भी जानते हैं उधम सिंह वर्गे कनाडा की धरती पे जाके उनको ठोक सकते हैं गोरे को ये दिल्ली तो कुछ भी नहीं हमारे पास है ये तो इतनी का है ये इंदिरा ठोकती मोदी की शादी में
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल तो आप देख सकते हैं जी बिल्कुल क्या कहेंगे
क्या है
destroying the properties, attacking the police and raising anti-national slogans because you have to understand one thing. They call this as All India Farmers Protest, right? But you seldom see this anywhere outside of Punjab and Haryana, okay? And I have ground reports where absolutely if you go to down south, if you go anywhere, no, it's not the real farmers issue at all. Then who are the people who are getting together there? That's exactly what we are going to see. And not only that, why Canadian government, see, you have to understand, during the last visit to India, Justin Trudeau, the Canadian PM, was literally slapped by Prime Minister of India, Sri Narendra Modi, okay, for his support to Khalistani elements openly and peddling for Pakistani ISI, okay, and to this extent that none of the CMs of any state of India even were ready to meet, and I think only one person who met him after a lot of requests and lobbying done by Justin Trudeau's coteries was Amrinder Singh. He said blatantly first he refused to see Justin Trudeau, and you had to understand Justin Trudeau was in UP and CM Yogi Adityanath never saw him. In fact, he went to the iconic Taj Mahal in Agra, Justin Trudeau and his family. And none of the politicians even saw, I think one DSP, that the district level police or somebody, the superintendent of police, deputy superintendent of police who came there and things like that, not even an IAS officer if I mistake not. And so do in Gujarat, he went to the Gandhi ashram, there was absolutely zero reception for him. Last day of his long stayed 8-day trip in India, Modi ji met him even. Okay, and that was a message for him, and after that he was kind of squeaking between the wheels because he cannot tighten the Khalistani elements, pro-Pakistani elements, that is working on the divisive agenda of destroying the democracy in India and also working to divide the country. Okay, he cannot do it because that is his ministers, that is his MPs. You know, one time Justin Trudeau proudly said that we have more Sikh MPs, right? That is, he meant Khalistani MPs in his cabinet than Modi ji has in his cabinet in India. And Modi's office was very quick in replying that we don't play appeasement politics. So we are no way in competition with you on this because you are playing them. That was their message. And so after a long diplomatic failed trip to India, Justin Trudeau was straightened up. Now he is playing the game. You see all the farmers, so-called the farmer protest. Okay, we will be seeing that. We will show you some of the tweets from Canadian politicians. See, these Canadian MPs, these Canadian politicians, liberal NDP politicians, the Sikh, Khalistani Sikh, okay, I won't call Sikhs are patriotic people, okay, in India you will see them. And these are Khalistani guys, okay, who peddle their agenda for Pakistani ISI to impress their boss or paymasters, whatever you call. And now Justin Trudeau, has totally changed his working style of anti-India agenda. Now all his ministers, all his MPs, Khalistani MPs, They all tweet, the money and muscle power comes from Canada to these. This is not a farmers' protest because it is nowhere you see in India. Okay, this is from the borders of Pakistan. That is the Punjab, Haryana area. Okay, the so-called farmers' protest, which is so violent, turned out to be, absolutely, looting and destroying the public properties and things like that. You are seeing some pictures right now. And, having said that, you see the tweets from the MPs. These MPs, you have to mind it. Okay, when the Hindu Sikh leaders and families were eliminated in Afghanistan, or when the Gurudwara in Pakistan was taken over by the Islamist regime from the Sikh committee, okay, none of these guys spoke. Or when the Sikhs are being abused and chased out in Pakistan, none of these Khalistani MPs or ministers of Justin Trudeau and Jagmeet Singh NDPs spoke about it. They were silent because they didn't want to offend their paymasters in Pakistani ISI. But now, in the so-called the farmers' protest, they promoted this urban exiles in Bharat. They also promote this as an all India farmers protest. You will think that all India means across length and breadth of India, and you will be astonished to know how many people have come together from where. It is from densely from one area. Okay, so and they have a strong support and backing from all the Canadian MPs, Liberal MPs, and the NDP, Jagmeet Singh's MP NDP. Okay, now the interesting thing is, one of the Brampton MP, Ruby Sahota, tweeted out saying, "Oh, we are with you, police atrocity against the farmers, oh, they are beating, hitting, see how these urban Naxals intellectual lobby behaves, that, right?" And through Bharat Marg, we asked her the question. You will see the tweet here. Okay, what right you have to interfere in the matters of India? Ruby Sahota and their coteries of the Justin Trudeau, politicians from the Khalistani gang, my question is simple. What right you have to interfere in the internal matters of India? See, you don't do anything to your constituency. You are taking the taxpayer money and peddling for your Pakistani bosses. We asked from Bharat Marg to Ruby Sahota today, did you ever bring any industry or investment to your constituency? Or what did you do? And it is a deafening silence. No answer at all. Whereas she was jumping and coming out and saying, oh, it is a human rights, how the urban Naxal speaks. Right? And this is a matter that the NIA and Prime Minister's office and the Home Minister's office of India should take it very seriously, because it is an interference from the non-Indians, okay, the Khalistani gang from Canada, interfering in the affairs of India with only one intention: destroy democracy in India and divide the people, create riots. So the muscle power and the support and the Hawala money, the rumors surrounding the majority of the Hawala money, which is going for the so-called the human rights activists, who they are, the urban Naxals, for feeding these guys, they go all the way, everywhere they go for feeding, these guys, right? Langar, giving free langar. When Shaheen Bagh protest or wherever it is, anything that is anti-national, these langar guys will go there. You will not see that elsewhere. Okay? And guess what? Now, all the free money and biryani are coming from the Hawala money, majorly from Canada, is the rumor that is rounding up. And you will not doubt it when you see these tweets from each one of these politicians. And this is why the ED of India has to absolutely crack down on the Hawala transactions that is happening from Canada. Any transaction that comes from Canada, going to this so-called protest hit violent areas has to be monitored, is what Bharat Marg requests to the government of India, because it is a serious matter. You should see these pictures where openly they are flaunting Bhindranwale, okay, the terrorist who was eliminated by the Indian government, okay, and the Bhindranwale and posters of Khalistan, and you see this video, now you see this video which was just published, and guess what? The guy is talking, okay, the so-called farmer, okay, he is talking about how we eliminated Indira Gandhi, and he goes to say, after Blue Star, we went to Canada and attacked them. You know what does he mean by? It's a Air India plane attack, which was the biggest terrorist attack in the history of Canada, where 380 plus people disappeared, boom, just like that from the plane. And he talks about that, this so-called farmer, peaceful farmer, okay, the Khalistani gang, that we went to Canada and if we can attack. And how about Delhi? Delhi is nothing for us. We will just walk in and do this kind of thing. And also he goes to say, if we can eliminate Indira Gandhi, how far is PM Modi? He is not at beyond reach for us kind of thing. This is a very, very sensitive statement in this video. You see for yourself.
देखते अगर कुछ हल होता है, हमारा भी मीटिंग है जी, उसमें कोई हल होगा तो ठीक
मीटिंग है।
ये अभी 24 तारीख की रखी हुई है ना,
3 दिसंबर को जो मीटिंग रखी,
हाँ,
तब तक आप यहीं पर
यहीं बैठे। ये उस पर भी कुछ हल ना हुआ, फिर हम बैरिकेड तो क्या, हम तो इनको वैसे ही उड़ा देंगे। ये हम उस पे हमारे जो शहीद हुए हैं, आप भी जानते हैं, उधम सिंह वर्गे कनाडा की धरती पे जाके उनको ठोक सकते हैं गोरे को। ये दिल्ली तो कुछ भी नहीं हमारे पास है, ये तो इतनी कहा है, ये इंदिरा ठोकती मोदी की शादी में।
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल, तो आप देख सकते हैं जी, बिल्कुल क्या कहेंगे।
And we believe at Bharat Marg, the connection with the Canada has to be investigated. Each one of these politicians who are tweeting has to come under the lens. Their visa has to be rejected for their anti-national activities in India, and a strong and stern warning has to be issued to the Canadian government for meddling through the back door, through these Khalistani gang of MPPs and ministers in the matter of India, and also all the transaction that is happening from Canada has to be under the scanner for stopping the Hawala transaction and stop this conspiracy to destroy the democracy of the biggest democratic land in the world, Bharat. This has to stop. You cannot let it go like this. Do you agree that? If you agree, comment and share your opinion. Do you think Canadian MPPs and Canadian MPs and MPPs and all these politicians, Sikh politicians from Liberal and NDP parties are right in taking their taxpayer money in salary to promote violence in India? Do you think it is right for the Canadian politicians, with the blessing of the Prime Minister of Canada, to take their time that they have to invest in the constituency and the people, which they don't do, and invest in instigating the violence in India? What is your opinion? Do you think we are right in pointing out that these guys have to go in the scanner? Do you think Bharat Marg is right in saying every money transaction happening from Canada to this riot or the violent hit areas from in the blanket of farmers' protest has to be investigated and cracked down? Please go ahead and comment your thoughts. Subscribe to our channel. Support us. We need to stand against this anti-India gang. We are proud of Canada, but that doesn't mean that we will give the leash for these Canadian politicians to go and instigate and create violence in India. That's unacceptable totally. And destroying the democracy of the world? Absolutely no. Do you agree? Go ahead and comment your thought. And if you think we are raising the right issue, please share with as many people as you can and expose this Canada Khalistani conspiracy and make sure Indian government takes an action against the Canadian government, which is actively working through this gang of Khalistani MPs, MPPs and ministers in unstable India and divide and destroy the democracy.